600.
How many passengers?
Ready.
Now,
Okay, that's
that's
good.
something what I'd rather.
All right, we're ready to get going. I appreciate you coming. And what we're gonna talk about is week 2 bids, and specifically, we're gonna talk about modified August, which is what I play. And again, it's nothing that I dreamed up. I never teach you anything that I dreamed up. This is what Larry Cohen plays and what he teaches. And I'll explain why it's probably the best way to go. But some background. If you're making a week 2 bid, typically those people who play feature are promising a good suit. And a good suit means 2 of the top 3, right? Otherwise, don't bid. In the 3rd or 4th position, you'd be looser because your partner already passed. And you know that he's not going to get too excited on you right after you already passed. So it's 2 of the top 3 if you're playing feature. You all know what feature means?
Ace, king, queen.
What?
Ace, king, queen, jack, 10.
No, feature is usually an ace or a king.
Okay.
It means if your partner opens a week 2, you're asking him, do you have like an entry to your hand that I could reach if I need it in case your suit's not enough? So usually you're looking for an ace or a king. So that's what a lot of people do with their week 2s. They open a week 2, and then if they bid, your partner bids 2 no trump. The 2 no trump is the ask, right? It's not an offer to play 2 no trump, right? If you get somebody who leads you in 2 no trump, get another partner, right? 2 no trump is the asking bid. And it asks for a feature, and a feature, like I said, is a way to reach the week 2 bid. A lot of people play that. And, when your partner opens a week 2, a lot of people, if they have an opening hand, they don't know when to be quiet, right? And they'll tell you, well, I had an opener, and I'll roll my eyes at them, right? You don't get the bid just because you have an opener when your partner opens a week 2. Your partner told you he doesn't have a good hand. So the fact that you have 13 or 14 points, the only time you get the bid with your 13 or 14 points, well, there's 2 times. One, if you have your own killer suit, like I got 7 spades today, ace, king, queen, I don't care about your week 2, right? That doesn't happen very often. But the time you get the bid is when you have support. That's generally when most people miss out. They look at their 6-point hand and they pass when they have 3-card support. That's wrong. With 6 points, your partner opens a week 2, almost always you go to the 3 level. It's not an invitation to game either. If your partner takes it to game, look for a new partner. Going to 3 just says, hey, I'm raising your preempt, right? A week 2 is a preempt, right? That's why they made it. Your partner's trying to get in the way because they don't have,
What about this thing where you add your own points and then you add the number of cards you have in their suit?
Rule of 17.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good rule. And, but basically, for most of your hands, what you mostly care, do you have a trump fit? And you want to get in the way, and that's like the law of total tricks. If we have 9 trump and your partner's distributional, there's a good chance you're going to take 9 tricks. And even if you're down 1, if they can make something, it's good. And so with 3 trump, you don't need a lot of points, and a lot of people, they'll have their 6 points and 3 trump, and they'll just go to sleep and pass. Or they'll raise later on, right? Then they'll wake up, on their second bid. Don't wake up on your second bid, it's too late. They've already had a chance to communicate. The whole idea behind preempts is you don't want them getting into the auction. Like once they already got in the auction, preempts start to lose their effectiveness. So if you have 3 trump and 6 points, most of the time you just bid 3, you're just raising the preamp, and your partner should know that. If you have 4 trump, same thing, law of total tricks. We got 10 trump now. I'm probably gonna have a shot at making 10 tricks, raise to the 4 level. And I'm not interested in slam, right? None of this is interested in anything other than what I just bid. So those the basic things with raising the preamp. Then the other part is what Cindy said is 17. 17 means now I am interested in slam, because what I'm counting is my high card points and the number of cards I have in your suit. So I have, now if I have 14 points and I have 3 trump, that's 17, meets the rule of 17. I'm at least interested in the game, right? So that's the rule of 17. It shows-
Game, not slam.
No, just
Yeah,
game.
you said slam a minute ago, that's really.
Well, I've said the wrong thing
Yeah, I'm
before.
saying, I'm just make sure I understood properly, okay?
Yeah, just game, just game. But 17 is number of high card points plus number of tricks. If you have 17 of those, you should show an interest in game, and now you wake up, right? And it doesn't matter whether, how that mix is, whether you have 2 trump and 15 points, or 4 trump and 13 points. Now you have an interesting game.
Or a
And-
big hand.
Yeah, well, you already have a big hand opposite your partner's preamp. You're interested in game.
Right.
And how you look for it, the old way is with the feature. You bid 2 no trump, ask your partner, hey, do you have a way for me to reach you? And if your partner has an outside ace or king, they'll bid it. And that's not like a new suit, that's, I got the king in this suit, or I have the ace in that suit. Doesn't mean I have 4 of them. That might, if it's the ace, it might be the only one I have. So don't put me in that suit. I'm not showing a second suit, I'm showing an entry. And that's what people did for a long time, and if you think about it, that doesn't really give you very much information though, right? Your partner could have yeah,
Okay, the question is this, okay, you bid say 2 hearts and your partner bids 2 no trump.
right.
The guy that bids the 2 heart has no other entries. And you said,
If he has no other entry.
if he's no other entry, so what do you do, pass? But you cannot pass the guy.
That
Yeah,
never
suit
pass, you
again.
just rebid your suit.
And just, okay, got it, okay.
Just rebid your suit.
Yeah.
That's a good question, because that's what you should do. If you don't have an entry, you can't show it, right?
Right.
So it's just 3 hearts. But anyway, opposite, the old way, when somebody opened 2 hearts, you know, he could have king, queen of hearts 6 times. You might have a jack someplace that is fairly useless. And then if you ask for a feature and he doesn't have it, you still don't know how good his hand is, right? And that's where August came in. August was to give you more information, and it became popular with this guy, Harold August. He wrote it up decades ago, and people have been doing this for decades. I've always played it. This is what I always played until Larry Cohen came along and said, I can improve on this, and he did, and we'll get into that after this. But over Partners Week 2, you know, you have what Cindy said, you have the 17, right? You know, you need to do something here. That's what you do, you bid 2 no trump. And these are the answers, and they kind of go up the line. 3 clubs, bad suit, and a bad hand, like I just squeaked out this 2-bid. Like if you want anything more than the minimum, you're looking at the wrong guy. 3 diamonds, well, I have a weak suit,
We can.
Yeah, we can, and thanks. And a strong suit, like basically, you know, I don't have two of the top three honors, but I got some other good cards here. I'm near the top of the range. And most people play week twos, either 5 or 6 to around 10 points, right? So good hand, so strong hand means, you know, I got a really good 8 up till 10, right? That's what a strong hand is, right? You're not gonna have 13 or you wouldn't open a week 2 to begin with. So a really good 8 up till 10. So the weak hand ones go first. Weak suit, weak hand, strong suit. 3 hearts means I probably have 2 entries here, but my suit isn't real good. And again, I got probably 8 to 10 points, but my suit is nothing to brag about. And 3 spades, I have something like the ace queen in my suit and an outside ace or king, right? That's about as good as it gets with the weak 2. So that's what 3 spades is. That's fairly good description. And 3 no trump, I got the ace king queen in my suit, right? So that's what August is, and like I played that for years and always found it more effective than feature. The other advantage of doing this is, again, if you're playing feature in the first 2 positions, you're expected to have a good suit to open a week 2 of the top 3. If you have a partner, if you're playing feature and you have a partner who doesn't do that, hope he's lucky, because otherwise you're about to have a bad board.
Yeah, because that, you know, typically, since we don't play August, we play feature, you know, I don't open a week 2 in first position unless I've got at least 9 points and some strength in that suit.
Well, you don't really
If I'm
need,
vulnerable.
well, vulnerability shouldn't matter at the 2 level. Like if you have a 6-card suit to ace king or ace queen, you should open it week 2. Like basically, if nothing else, you're getting in their way and you're telling your partner what to lead. But it does require a good suit in the first 2 positions. Playing August, I don't need to have a good suit. I just need to have 6 of them. And you'll find out, because, you know, if I have a good hand, I'll do that. If I have a bad hand, I'll do that, right? I could describe it on my next bid for you. Mm-hmm.
Are these big bids alertable or not?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes, they're alertable?
Yeah. These bids are all alertable. Every one of them. The responses to Do No Trump are alertable. So that's August. One thing that you also have the choice under week 2s is a new suit forcing. Like if I bid 2 hearts and you bid 2 spades, what does that mean? And most people play as a forcing bid. I mean, like if you're playing feature, 2 spades would basically be saying, you know, I got a good spade suit here, and I have a good hand, right? You don't want to get too high, right? If you don't fit with your partner's hand, he might not have an entry. So it's usually a good suit, and 2 spades would be forcing. I've never liked that, because I prefer, but if I was playing feature, I would. Because feature is a more demanding to make the week 2. Because I play August, you don't, if you have your good suit, you can show it to me later. Just bid 2 no trump the first time, right? Like if you happen to have 7 spades to ace king queen, when you bid 2 no trump, I'm not going to pass, right? I'm going to give you one of these responses And then, based on, and after I make the response, whatever you bid is usually, that's what we're playing. Like I just told you, everything about my hand, where do you want to play? And if you come out with 4 spades, my pass is on the table as soon as it's my turn.
Jeff, you might have already covered this, but what do you, playing this, what do you consider a strong suit?
Strong suit, 2 of the top 3.
Okay.
And,
It doesn't have anything to do with your points overall.
no, that has to do with how strong your hand is, but not your suit.
Okay.
And some people shade it, I typically don't. Some will do, well, ace, jack, 10, that's good enough. So, you know, depends on your temperament. If I do it, the strong suit is 2 of the top 3.
All right. Want to make sure.
All right, so that's August, and that's when you do it, when your partner is exploring for game or even slam, and he wants to know more about your hand, and you never pass that 2-no trump bid, right? And you never come up with any bids other than this, right? And typically it was like Cindy's.
Jeff, I want to say something. If you bid the 2-no trump and your partner passes,
Shoot 'em.
no, I understand that, but there is a good chance that the opponent will double. Is it possible?
That who would know?
The opponent might double you.
Oh, if your partner doubles you.
No. Your partner open with no suit.
Yeah,
You said 2-no trump. Everybody pass. The last one doubles you. Then you got a chance to get out of there.
right.
And you know, I
A
don't
good
know.
partner would never, a good opponent would
Well,
let you stew in there.
In theory, yeah, in theory it's true.
Yeah, but, you can't pass the 2-no trump and you don't get to make up a bid like there are always people who, they lied on the first bid and now when they have to do that, they open 2 hearts and they had 7 of them right, and now you do August, and now you bid 2-no trump and now they bid 4 hearts. That just makes for an unpleasant partnership.
You shoot the guy.
Yeah, right. So that's, now, so anyway, I generally check off, and it's alertable that a new suit is non-forcing. Like if, when I play August, if I bid 2 hearts and my partner bids a suit, that's the play. That's how I play. Like he doesn't want to hear from me. He doesn't want me to further describe my hand. If he was happy with my suit, we'd be playing in it. If he wanted me to describe my hand, he bid 2-no trump. That's your only forcing bid. If he bids anything other than that, other than the 2-no trump, he's going to be playing in it.
So
And what,
and typically that means he's got a weak hand, but a long suit is probably very sound.
well, at least depends how long it is. Like if he has 9 of them,
Yeah, he's gonna be 4.
yeah, well, he could bid, based on how good they are.
Yeah.
But he's gonna play in his 9-card suit rather than your 6-card
Right.
suit. And if it's ratty, that's when you just bid your suit. If it's good, then you would do August 1st, but you're gonna get another chance to bid your suit after the reply to set the contract.
Then are you saying is a strong hand 9 or 10 points?
Oh yeah, for a week 2 bidder?
Yes.
Sure, because the most he could have is 10. Okay, that's August. Now, what Larry Cohen did is he modified it to make it more specific.
Oh,
And this is week 2. 2 no Trump. And the responses. And they're similar to August, but they're more specific. 3 clubs now is still a weak hand. Instead of a weak suit, it's almost a weak suit. It's one of the top 3 honors. And what should trigger you right away, if you don't have one of the top 3 honors, you don't get to open week 2. Because you're not going to be able to respond, right? But that's what 3 clubs means. It's really similar to that weak hand, weak suit. That doesn't mean at least one of the top 3. That just means one. Exactly one. Right? It's still a weak hand, one of the top 3 honors. But you could guess what 3 diamonds is without me even telling you.
Yeah, 2, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like this. A weak hand, just like the original August. 2 of the top 3 honors. And I bet you could keep telling me without me even writing. What do you think 3 hearts is?
Don't tell me you got 3.
Yeah?
3 of the top 3.
No, not 3. Now it's a strong hand, right?
Oh, wow, okay, strong hand, yeah.
Look how it's similar to the original August, right?
Yeah,
It's not like he turned it completely upside down and backwards. He just made it more specific. So it's still a strong hand like before,
but.
and it's what?
1.
Yeah, one of the top 3
Yeah,
honors.
top 3. Wow.
Okay, what do you think 3 spades is?
If you see that.
Strong 2 of 3.
Sure.
I like it, yeah, it's nice.
So that's why it's modified August. The bids basically mean what they meant under August, except now they're more specific. Here, I didn't really tell you what a weak suit is. Like if you had, playing just regular August, if you have king, queen, and 4 small ones, that's a good suit, right? Here it's real specific. If you have just the 1 honor, show it. 2 honors, show it. And 3 no trump is the same. He's king, queen. So it's very similar, except now you don't even have, the decision's made for you on what's a weak suit.
Okay, Jeff, so we're saying that if you said 3 no trump, you're gonna pass and you're playing 3 no trump?
No, 3 no trump is just the answer to the question.
Oh, okay.
Remember, none of these are to play.
Okay.
However, and it's a good question, because one thing that I see people get wrong all the time,
Yeah, who's the captain?
yeah, who is the captain?
The guy that bid 2 no trump.
Right, the guy at the 2 no trump is going to say. A lot of people, they got in their head because they have the best hand or the best suit that they're the captain. That's not who the captain is. Or I'm the better player, so I'm gonna be the captain. That's not the captain. The captain is the partner of the person who described their hand within a narrow range. As soon as these bids are made, the person who opened the week 2 has described their hand within a narrow range, so their partner is the captain. And so after any of these bids, the person who bid the 2-no trump, they could leave it in 3-no trump if they wanted to. They could bid their own suit, it depends on what their hand is. We don't know what their hand is. This guy's hand, the person who bid 2-no trump, you could do that with a wide range of hands, right? It's a good hand, we know it's the rule of 17, but it could be, I could have my own really good suit, or I could have some trump for you and some good cards for you. Could be lots of things. I know what I have, you don't, but I know what you have, so that's the captain.
So is 3-no trump alertable or not?
Yeah, because it means something very specific. It
Okay.
means, and it's kind of artificial, like I've got the ace, king, queen. All the responses are artificial.
What about the original 2-no trump bid? Is it alertable?
No,
Jeff,
like sometimes I'll do it based on who I'm playing against. Like I never want to get a good board because I confuse my opponents. Like I don't need to win that badly to have you not know what's going on at the table. Plus, I've always been the teacher to club, and it's kind of my responsibility to make sure people get a fair shake. So I alert stuff that other people wouldn't, and I'll just flat out ask them. If I'm looking at you and you look lost, I'll typically ask you, do you know what my bid means? And do you want me to tell you? And the same thing with my partner. But if I'm playing, like in bracket 1 at a tournament, and I bid the 2-no trump, it's not alertable, but the responses are.
So if your partner opens a week 2, but you have nothing in their suit, can you still do this 2-no trump response?
Sure, if you have a huge hand, you got 17 points and
Yeah.
and a 7-card suit.
no,
You'd still do it, but you need more strength outside it, and you have to, and you probably need if you're void in their suit, you probably need your own suit that you know is going to be trump. If you have a couple trumps for them, that's kind of the rule of 17. If you have 17, go.
are you still looking at that rule of 17 to bid your 2-no trump play in this
Yep,
system?
it's still that, right? It's still the rule of 17. Basically, you don't want to miss a game, and if you just, and you don't want to do anything suicidal. Like I said, if you have 13 points and no fit,
So,
you pass.
so the main advantage of this system is that you can you can open the week 2 with a little less strength in your hand. But you must have one of the top 3.
Yep, and you know more specifically what your partner has once they answer you. That's the main thing. That the captain, the partner of the week 2 bidder, they're in a position to set the contract. Whatever they bid next, that's the contract.
And each of those responses are alertable.
Yes, because they're all artificial.
Either modified or non-modified, they're alertable.
Correct.
So the issue is, they alert, and if you don't explain your bid, then you don't know if they're playing modified or regular.
Right.
I don't see that you bid any differently under modified than regular.
No, it's just more specific.
Yeah.
It's just more specific, so the bidding's the same.
Yeah, but once they realize you're playing modified, they know more about your hand than they do with the non-modified.
Sure, everybody knows more about your hand,
Well,
right?
that's what I'm saying, if they don't know you're playing modified, you know, they don't have as clear a picture if they don't ask when you alert.
I've also been told that if it really doesn't matter with your hand, what your response is, don't ask.
That's true.
So it's,
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
That's true. If you're gonna pass that way, don't ask till when?
well, after the bidding's
After the
done.
Till after you're, yeah, don't let them pour across the table.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we have time for one hand here.
You think it's summer?
And we've talked about pieces of this all the time because it's a pretty wide subject. And it's something you should decide when you're defending any hand, whether to defend passively or actively. The difference is, passive is, if I don't make risky leads, leading away from honors and stuff like that, I'm gonna get the tricks anyway, and I'm gonna capture their honors with my honors, right? It's always good to capture their honors with yours. And basically, you let the play come to you, you don't give anything away, make declare a play, and make him have his honors go under yours. That's passive. Active is, if I don't get my tricks now, I ain't getting them. And when do you do that? When typical thing is you figure what declare is doing, look at the dummy, like the classic thing, if there's a long suit and dummy where the declare's losers are gonna disappear on, you better get your tricks now or you're not getting them, they're gonna throw them away. It's easier to say here than it is at the table if you haven't really kept track. But here's a suit. But by the way, this is on page 63, August 2024, Sternberg.
Shall we play it today?
Sure.
And here's North, who's the dummy, right?